Hi, Matt Shaw here from Train Strong Personal Training Eastbourne. Today I'm going to take you through a short video sequence just on working on an important area that a lot of people have trouble with, and that's the hip flexor. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take you through two movements which a lot of people find useful for lengthening or stretching out the hip flexor. We're talking about specifically the deep psoas, and then I'm going to show you a movement that I've picked up from Mobility WOD using a band to really try and open out the anterior side of the hip so that you're getting more space in the hip and better firing through the glutes. So this is the first stretch. We're going to do a simple hip flexor stretch. Okay, we're coming down into position. We want the knee to be 90 degrees down and the hip to be straight. Front foot is going to be forwards here. We're going to make sure that we keep the pelvis tilted forward by engaging the abs, and at the same time we're also going to crunch down on the glutes here so that we've got our glute fired up nicely. Tummy's engaged, pelvis is tilted forwards, and all we're going to do is we're going to slowly come forward, not making sure that we don't release the glutes, and we're keeping the pelvic tilt so we feel a really nice stretch in here through the front of the hip. Notice I've not dropped all the way forwards like this and let the pelvic tilt go. I'm maintaining the tilt, the glutes are tight, and I'm coming into the stretch. I'm just going to hold it there, take a breath in, breathe out and relax, ease back out, lock down, come in a little bit deeper, hold the stretch, keep squeezing, relax back, come down again, and try and get a little bit more range of motion, maintaining that pelvic tilt, and I can really feel that stretch coming in here and through the hip flexor really nicely, and back out. Okay, so obviously you're going to do that on both sides. Prior to working out, you want to be holding that stretch for about 10 or so seconds for sort of three to five progressively deeper stretches on there. Next up, we're going to use a strong power band here, one of the green ones from Wolverton Fitness. We're going to use this to really get into this area here of the hip, which can get quite stuck down and quite knotted and quite sticky, especially if you're spending a lot of time sat down, or if you're doing a lot of running or engaged in a lot of cycling. So what I'm doing here is I'm stepping through the band. The band needs to be anchored to a point that's immovable, and I'm going to slide it right up so it sits under my glute. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a long step back and really start to load this band up, and it's sitting just below my glute here. Now in this position, similar to the hip flexor stretch, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to really clamp the glute and try and open my hip in here as much as possible. So all the ligaments and tendons here are trying to get opened out as much as possible. The band is pulling up on the head of the femur to try and really open the front of that socket out, and I can feel a huge stretch in there, just getting through into those corners that are very difficult to get into. And we're going to hang about here for around about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and then swap over legs. As we come out, we just need to be careful so the band doesn't rebound us back. And that's two great movements there for opening out the front of the hips and becoming a little bit mobile in the hip joint so that our hips can operate more functionally and we can get the glutes firing more effectively.